There's a specific kind of business that shows up over and over in the bank accounts of people who never hired anyone, never managed a team, and never dealt with payroll, sick days, or someone quitting on a Friday. Most people think building a real business means eventually hiring staff. More desks, more payroll, more headaches, more time spent managing people instead of making money. But there's an entire category of businesses built specifically to avoid that path completely. And most people never even consider it because nobody points it out to them directly. After researching business models that generate consistent income with 0 employees, I narrowed it down to 20. Some of these you could start this week with less than a few $100s. None of them require you to ever post a job listing. If you can only start one, make it number 1. It requires the least capital and the fastest path to your first dollar. Let's get into it. By the end of this list, you'll have 20 different paths to choose from, and you only need one that fits your specific situation to change how your income looks a year from now. Here's a number that might surprise you. According to data on small business structures in the United States, over 80% of small businesses operate with 0 employees, meaning it's just the owner running the entire operation alone. And here's the second number that matters even more. Those same solo-run businesses collectively generate hundreds of billions of dollars in annual revenue in this country alone, without a single one of them ever hiring staff. That tells you something important. You don't need a team to build something real. You don't need an office, a payroll system, or an HR department. You need the right business model, one specifically designed from the ground up to scale without adding headcount, without a hiring budget, and without the risk of a bad hire setting you back months. Let's go through the 20, starting with the one that costs the least and moving toward the ones that require slightly more upfront capital but scale further over time. 1. Mobile detailing. Picture someone showing up to a client's driveway with a portable vacuum, some microfiber cloths, and a trunk full of supplies. That's the entire operation, start to finish. No shop, no rent, no staff, no scheduling around anyone else's availability. Entry cost runs about $300 to $500 for basic equipment. Your first move isn't buying a fancy setup or expensive machinery. It's landing 3 regular clients willing to pay for a recurring monthly detail. Offer your first session at a discount in exchange for a review and a referral to their neighbors. That's your entire marketing plan for month 1, and it costs nothing beyond your time. Once you have 5 regular clients, the business essentially runs itself on a fixed weekly schedule, with no additional hiring ever required to maintain that income. 2. Freelance copywriting. This is words on a page turned into income with 0 employees required ever at any stage of growth. Businesses always need product descriptions, email sequences, and website copy, and most of them don't want to hire a full-time writer just for occasional projects. Entry cost is close to 0. You need a laptop you already own and a portfolio you can build for free. Your first step is writing 3 sample pieces in a niche you understand well, then reaching out directly to 5 small businesses in that niche with a specific tailored offer rather than a generic pitch. Most freelance writers who struggle are sending the same message to everyone, while the ones who succeed are speaking directly to one business's exact situation. 3. Print-on-demand design. You design a shirt, a mug, or a poster once, and a printing service handles production, shipping, and customer service entirely on your behalf. You never touch inventory, never pack a box, never hire anyone to fulfill an order, and never deal with a single return in person. Entry cost is essentially just your time to learn basic design software, most of which is free or nearly free. The first step is picking one specific audience, not a broad general market, and designing 5 items that speak directly to that one narrow group's specific interests. A shirt designed for every dog owner in America competes with thousands of sellers, but a shirt designed specifically for competitive disc golf players barely has any competition at all. 4. An Etsy digital shop. This means selling templates, printables, or digital planners that get created once and sold infinitely afterward with no additional labor per sale. No employees, no shipping, no inventory that ever runs out or needs restocking. Someone can list a single budgeting spreadsheet template and sell it thousands of times without lifting a finger after the initial upload. Your first step is identifying one small specific problem people already actively search for solutions to online, and building exactly one product that solves that one problem well. The goal isn't building 50 mediocre templates. It's building one excellent template that solves a specific, recurring frustration so well that people recommend it to others without being asked. 5. YouTube automation channels using licensed stock footage and your own scripting or voiceover work. This isn't about being on camera or building a personal brand around your face. It's about researching a topic, writing a script, and using existing tools to produce a video without ever hiring an editor or a production team. Entry cost is close to zero if you're doing the work yourself initially, using free or low-cost editing software. The first step is picking one specific niche you can consistently produce content in without burning out, not a broad one that spreads you too thin. Consistency in a narrow lane beats sporadic effort across 5 different topics every single time, especially in the first 6 months when the channel has no existing audience trust to lean on. 6. Affiliate content sites. This means building a simple website, reviewing a specific category of product, then earning a commission every single time someone purchases through your link. No employees, no inventory, no customer service required, because you're never actually the seller of the physical product. Entry cost is around $100 to $200 for hosting and a domain name. Your first step is picking one narrow product category you already understand deeply, not a broad one you'd have to fake expertise in to write convincingly about. Readers can tell within a paragraph whether someone actually understands a product category or is simply repeating specifications they copied from somewhere else. 7. Vending machine ownership. Picture a single machine placed in a busy break room or waiting area, requiring maybe 20 minutes of restocking a week and nothing else. No employees needed at any point in the process. Entry cost for a used machine runs $1,000 to $3,000 depending on condition and features. Your first step isn't buying the machine itself, it's securing the location first, since a great machine in a bad location makes nothing, while an average machine in a great location prints money reliably every single week. Foot traffic matters more than product selection, and most beginners get this backwards by obsessing over what to stock instead of where to place the machine. 8. Laundromat ownership, specifically an unattended one with no staff on site. This is one of the oldest zero-employee businesses that still works exactly the same way it did decades ago. Customers do everything themselves from start to finish with no interaction required. Entry cost is higher, often $50,000 to $300,000 depending on size, equipment, and location, but the ongoing labor cost is effectively zero once it's running. Your first step is calling 3 existing laundromat owners in your area and asking directly what their actual monthly profit looks like before you commit any capital to this model. Laundromat economics vary enormously by neighborhood, utility costs, and machine age, so a number that works in one location can lose money in another only a few miles away. 9. Self-storage unit rental. Picture a small plot of land divided into individual storage units, rented out monthly, with tenants managing their own move-in and move-out entirely on their own schedule. No employees needed for a small operation of this size. Entry cost varies widely depending on land prices in your area, but smaller operations can realistically start with a single small property. Your first step is researching actual storage demand in your specific area before assuming this model works identically everywhere. A growing suburb with new apartment construction behaves completely differently from a shrinking rural town, even though the physical business model looks identical on paper. 10. Dropshipping a single specific product. This means selling one carefully chosen item through a simple online store, while a supplier ships it directly to the customer on your behalf. You never touch or store any inventory yourself. Entry cost is under $500 for a store setup and initial testing ads. Your first step is picking one specific problem-solving product, not a broad catalog of random items, since a single strong product consistently outperforms 100 mediocre, unfocused ones. Most failed dropshipping attempts come from spreading thin across an entire catalog instead of mastering the marketing for one specific item people actually want. 11. an ATM route. Picture placing a handful of ATMs in high-traffic small businesses like convenience stores or bars, earning a fee on every single transaction that goes through. Restocking takes minutes per machine, once a week at most. Entry cost per machine is around $2,000 to $3,000, including the machine itself. Your first step is approaching small business owners directly and offering them a cut of the transaction fees in exchange for simply hosting your machine on their premises. This turns what looks like a real estate problem into a simple conversation, since most business owners are happy to earn passive income from a corner of space they weren't using anyway. 12. An online course based on one specific skill you already have and use regularly. You record it once, and it sells indefinitely afterward with no live teaching or ongoing time investment required. Entry cost is close to zero beyond your own time to plan and record it. Your first step is validating the idea by pre-selling the course to 5 real people before you ever record a single lesson, to confirm demand actually exists. If 5 people won't pay before the course exists, a finished product usually won't change that. So this step saves you from wasting weeks building something nobody wants. 13. A niche newsletter with paid subscriptions. Picture writing weekly insights on one specific, narrow topic that people are genuinely willing to pay to stay updated on regularly. No employees, no production team, just you and a writing schedule. Entry cost is free to start on most modern newsletter platforms. Your first step is publishing consistently for free for a set period first, building an audience and trust, before ever introducing a paid tier to that same audience. Trust has to be earned through consistent value before anyone pays for continued access, and skipping this step is the most common reason newsletters fail to convert readers into subscribers. 14. Licensing your own photography or stock footage to marketplaces. You shoot it once, upload it to a marketplace, and it earns royalties indefinitely afterward without you doing anything further to maintain that income. Entry cost depends entirely on equipment you may already own from a hobby. Your first step is shooting one specific category consistently and deliberately, rather than random unrelated shots that never build a cohesive, searchable portfolio for buyers. Buyers searching stock marketplaces are looking for specific, consistent styles, and a scattered portfolio signals uncertainty rather than expertise. 15. Car wash equipment rental to other independent operators. This means owning portable pressure washing equipment and renting it out to people running their own mobile detailing businesses who don't want to buy their own gear yet. No employees required at any stage. Entry cost runs $1,000 to $2,000 for quality, durable equipment. Your first step is finding 3 people already doing mobile detailing locally and offering your equipment at a lower cost than they'd pay to buy their own outright. This works because most people starting a service business want to test demand before committing thousands of dollars to equipment they might not use long term. 16. An app or simple software tool solving one specific repetitive task that people deal with often. Once built, it runs and earns without ongoing labor beyond occasional maintenance and updates. Entry cost can be low if you learn simple no-code tools yourself, or higher if you hire a developer for a single, well-scoped build. Your first step is finding one specific frustration people already complain about publicly online, then building the smallest possible fix for exactly that frustration. The goal isn't building the next major platform, it's solving one specific annoyance so directly that people are willing to pay a small monthly fee just to make that annoyance disappear. 17. Billboard or small local advertising space rental. Picture owning a single small ad space, renting it out to a local business monthly with zero ongoing labor beyond occasional maintenance of the physical structure. Entry cost varies significantly by location and the size of the space. Your first step is researching whether your specific area actually has demand for local advertising before assuming this model applies equally everywhere you might consider. A busy intersection near a shopping center behaves completely differently from a quiet residential road, even if both technically have space available for a sign. 18. A specialized directory website for a narrow industry or interest. This means listing specific businesses in one narrow category. charging them a small monthly fee to be featured prominently. No employees, no inventory, no physical product at all. Entry cost is under $200 for hosting and basic setup costs. Your first step is picking a category so specific and narrow that a generic search engine doesn't already serve that audience particularly well. The best directories solve a specific trust problem, helping people find vetted options in a category where quality varies wildly and reviews alone aren't enough. 19. Renting out specialized equipment you already own but rarely use. This could be photography gear, power tools, or specialized machinery sitting unused most of the year in a garage or closet. No employees, no ongoing labor beyond a simple handoff and pickup process. Entry cost is zero if you already own the equipment in question. Your first step is listing exactly one item on a rental platform this week to test actual local demand before buying anything additional to expand the offering. Testing with what you already own removes all financial risk from the equation, letting you validate real demand before ever spending money on new inventory. 20. And this one ties everything together, licensing a proven system to someone else entirely. This means documenting exactly how you built one of the 19 businesses above, then selling that documented system as a guide or course to someone who wants to skip the trial and error you went through. This is the meta business hiding behind every other item on this list. Once you've proven any single model above actually works for you, the documentation of that entire process becomes its own separate zero-employee business, sellable again and again to a completely new audience each time without ever repeating the original work of building the first business from scratch. Here's what ties all 20 together. None of these require you to become a manager of other people. None of them require payroll, employee benefits, or difficult conversations about someone's performance. Every single one is built around either automation, digital delivery, or physical systems that run without daily human labor attached to them. That's the actual pattern connecting all 20. Not luck, not some secret connection or inherited advantage. Deliberately choosing a business model designed from day one to scale without ever needing a team around you. If you're only going to start with one from this entire list, make it number 2, freelance copywriting. It requires the least capital, the fastest path to your first payment, and it often reveals which of the other 19 businesses on this list actually fits your specific skills, interests, and available time. Which one on this list surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments because a few of these took me completely off guard when I first found them during my research. And I'd genuinely like to know which one you're most likely to actually try this year. And if you've already started one of these 20, drop it below so others can see it's actually working for real people right now.